Good morning, Wabash. Speaking today at Pioneer Chapel will be Luis Rivera and Cole Bergman with their talk titled, The Wabash Community. Luis is a junior majoring in psychology and double minoring in gender studies and black studies, and he is originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. He is a brother at Lambda Chi Alpha, where he currently serves as their external vice president. On campus, he wears a lot of hats, including the president of Shout, vice president of the Student Senate, WDPD senior fellow, and speech tutor for the rhetoric department. He is also a member of the Sphinx Club, Psi Chi, and La Alianza. At the end of his freshman year, Luis was named the recipient of the Dr. Paul T. Hurd Award presented to the freshmen that demonstrates the greatest all-around achievement during their first year at Wabash College. After graduating, Luis plans to enter a graduate program centered on DEI and social justice. Cole Bergman is a senior English and rhetoric double major and political science minor from Garrett, Indiana. He is the current student body president of Wabash College. In addition to this role, he is also involved in Lambda Pi Eta, The Bachelor, the Sphinx Club, and plays on the football team. On campus, he works as a senior fellow in the Democracy and Public Discourse program. During his time here, Cole intends to work on bringing communities together and strengthen the Wabash Brotherhood. And after Wabash, Cole hopes to pursue law school somewhere here in the Midwest. So let's give a warm welcome to Luis and Cole.
Good morning, Wabash. Good morning, Luis. I'm so glad to be back on campus, and it's so nice to see the chapel so full. I want to go ahead and thank my brothers in the Sphinx Club for having us talk today and giving us this platform. And I also want to thank my brothers at Lambda Chi for always being so amazing and supportive. I love you all. So for my part of the talk, I want to mainly speak about the importance of being an active member of the Wabash community. Because there are so many things to do here and so much that you can get out of being an active participant in this great community. But first, I want to share how I've been active in the Wabash community and what I've got out of doing so. And I'll speak specifically about 4 different sub-communities within this greater Wabash community that I'm a part of and that have been integral to my success and really my happiness here. So, to begin, the first community that I really joined is the Wabash Liberal Arts Immersion Program, or WLAIP, which is a program of about 20 guys each year that seeks to increase the graduation rate of students from underserved and minoritized backgrounds. I participated in this program the summer before my first year here, and I gained exposure to different clubs and organizations on campus and had a schedule that forced me to be active and participating from the very beginning. I'm super grateful to Dr. Lamberton and Dr. Jeff Drury for being professors for this program and pushing me to be the best that I can be in the classroom from the start of my time here. I'm also thankful to Dr. Horton's work with our cohort after the summer part of the program ended to ensure that we were all adjusting to a full-time student schedule in a healthy manner. I loved participating in this program, and it served as a great foundation to build on during my first year here. And during my time in the WLAIP, I decided to rush Lambda Chi, which is the second community that I'm going to talk about. And it really forced me to get out of my comfort zone and to try new things. I'm so happy that I decided to join Lambda Chi because I've developed some amazing relationships with so many people and built bonds that I am confident will last my lifetime. I'm able to be my authentic self. I'm celebrated and appreciated for being my authentic self, and I am constantly inspired by the love and kindness that we all have for each other in the house. I couldn't imagine what my time would have been like here if I didn't make that decision. And the third community that I'm going to talk about is one of the clubs that I have been a part of, and the one that I've devoted the most time to, which is Shout, the LGBTQ+ organization here. I spent countless hours here in the Shout room, in the basement of the chapel, and we love and appreciate our space and have decorated it beautifully, if I do say so myself. But to be completely honest and transparent, being queer here at this school, in this state, and in this country can be really hard and isolating sometimes. But to be able to look forward to dedicated times every week where I can be surrounded by other queer people and our allies, because we have lots of them here, it means everything to me. And I'm incredibly grateful for the time I've spent with this club and the fact that I have the ability to be out and proud and supported here. Dr. Pavlinich and Lauren J. are our faculty advisors, and their mentorship has pushed me to be the best person and to always remember to take care of myself and my mental health. It's incredibly comforting to know that we have such amazing faculty and staff here at this college who do their best to ensure that we become our best. So can we just snap really quickly for the faculty and staff in the room? Yeah. You guys are amazing and so appreciated. The last organization that has played an important part of my time here is the Sphinx Club, which is also the one that I've been a part of for the shortest amount of time. I joined last semester and had the time of my life with my Ryan brothers, forming close relationships with people who I probably would not have been close to at all if it weren't for that. But now I think of them and I just can't help but smile. And I'm just thankful and happy to know them and to be able to call them some of my best friends. I'm incredibly grateful for that experience, and I'm so happy that I made that decision to come out of my shell even more and to try something new. So I have thoroughly enjoyed the first half of my time here, and I'm really appreciative for the bonds that I've formed with so many amazing people. Some of them have graduated and gone on to live their lives, and so it can be sad coming back and not seeing them anymore, as I'm sure many of you have experienced. But most of them are sitting out in front of me today, filling my heart with joy. And I just have so much love for so many people in this community, and I'm honored to be able to speak today and express my gratitude. And now that I've shared a bit about my time here, I want to talk more about why it's important to be an active member of the Wabash community. We have such a beautiful campus and such amazing people, and there's always something going on, but every year I hear seniors say that one of their biggest regrets is not getting more involved on campus. They say things like, I just wish I would have gone out for the club or joined a fraternity or went to more lunch talks. I just wish I would have done more. And while I'm not saying that you have to do any of those things before you graduate or you're going to regret your Wabash career, you don't want to look back on your undergraduate experience and wish you had done more, because you don't get this time back. So whether you're a fourth year who only has a year left, or you're a first-year student who has your whole undergraduate experience ahead of you, do everything you can now so that you're not the one saying you wish you had done more at the end of your Wabash career. It's imperative that we take every opportunity to learn and grow from each other. Because we come to college to grow, right? We come to college expecting to be different people after we leave. But you can't really do that effectively if you don't step out of your comfort zone and put yourself in uncomfortable situations to catalyze that growth, to get the most out of your undergraduate experience. So I want to challenge all of you, when you leave here today, to think of a way to step out of your comfort zone and try something new on this campus. If you're a first-year student, go to TGIF and meet new people. If you're a faculty or staff member, go to that fraternity dinner or mixer that you get invited to. If you're an upperclassman, maybe it's joining a new club or organization. No matter who you are, there are plenty of opportunities on this campus to meet new people and learn new things. You just have to show up. And I know that as far as the Student Senate goes, we have 10 lovely committees who, some of whom have been working since we appointed committee chairs at the end of last semester to keep the calendar booked and busy. specifically Sam Benedict and the Student Events Committee. Yes. And Spencer Rivera and the Student Life Committee. All the committees do a lot of work to ensure that there's always something going on each week. So please take the time to read those schedule-sended emails that flood the inbox every Monday morning. I promise that it's worth it. And speaking of these committees, this Saturday they're working together to put on Back to Bash on the Mall from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. And this is a great way to meet a lot of new people and start the year off as an active participant. And something that I think about a lot when discussing why it's important to be active in the Wabash community actually comes from when I was in my EQ class with Professor Mr. Torbert. And we were reading an excerpt from The Traditions We Inherit, which is a collection of speeches and sermons by La Follette Distinguished Professor in the Humanities, the late Bill Plager, class of 1970. And in this excerpt from the first freshman convocation in 1988, titled "The Professors Appeared and the Exercises Commenced," Plager talks about the magic of Wabash College and how students shouldn't be afraid to let the magic work on them. Quote, "Find friends worth treasuring among students and faculty. Get involved. Don't ever be ashamed to be excited about learning. Do not be afraid to let the magic of this place work on you," end quote. And when I first read this quote, I totally thought I understood what it meant and was like, wow, even when I came on my visit to Wabash, I really felt like there was just something about this place that I couldn't explain, but I knew I loved. But the more that I fixated on this quote over the years, the more that I've thought specifically about when Plager talks about letting the magic work on you. And the more I think of that as an active thing rather than a passive one. It's not just something that you can breathe in and out, and since I went here, the magic worked on me. How I interpret it is the magic of Wabash College won't work on you if you don't open up and let it. The beautiful and magical way in which this place takes young men and molds and grows them into excellent humans who are ready and prepared to tackle the world head on only works for those who let it. It won't work on you if all you do is play your video games for 4 years and never get involved. You have to go and meet new people and connect and learn from your peers, exposing yourself to new things and experiencing all that Wabash has to offer. You have to be an active participant in this amazing community. And that could be running for leadership roles in a club or organization that you're passionate about, and that could also be starting your own thing and finding like-minded people to do it with. I think one of my favorite things to see in the Student Senate every year is the bright-eyed first-year students who walk into an intimidating Senate meeting and petition in front of the whole Senate for the new club that they created to be recognized. I think it's so awesome that you don't have to just settle for the clubs that we currently offer, but you can create your own club and make space for whatever you're passionate about. I think some of the best advice that I can give from my personal experience is to sit down and take the time to figure out what you're passionate about. Set aside time and ask yourself, what do I care about? What drives me? What makes me emotional and brings me joy? Be introspective and ask yourself those questions and then see what fulfills that here. We have over 70 recognized clubs, 4 Wabash X initiatives, and countless other organized spaces that you can use to fuel your fire. And this goes for faculty and staff too. One of my favorite people ever, Senior Assistant Director of Admissions, Lauren J., connected with me through my admissions counselor at the time, Julia Wells. And she said, I really just want to get involved with Shout. I'm passionate about this community, and I want to help in whatever way I can. And now she's one of our advisors and provides amazing direction and support. So all that to say that finding your community here, your place here, is made easier by the wealth of opportunities that Wabash has. All you have to do is do the work to find it. There are so many amazing and interesting people sitting out in front of me today. And each of you has something unique and special and important that you can share with the rest of the Wabash community. Each of you has something valuable to contribute, something valuable that can make all of us better. So be the person that shares your light, your uniqueness with the rest of us, and help make this great place even better. Thank you.
Good morning, Wabash. First, I'd like to thank my brothers in the Spinks Club for letting me speak before you guys today. Appreciate it, boys. Second, I'd like you all to forgive me if I keep this a little brief. The football team has film at lunch, and I want to make sure my boys out there are able to get some lunch and get there on time, so don't say it was never looking out for you fellas. All right. Today, I have 3 things I'd like to speak with you all about. First, I'd like to share an anecdote. Then, I'd like to share a lesson I've learned. And then finally, I'll end off with a warning. Over the past summer, I interned with a Wabash alumnus, Seamus Boyce, from the class of 2003. Due to our Wabash connection, many of the people I met from the internship would ask me to describe Wabash. What makes Wabash different? What makes Wabash work? I had my own answers describing the traditions, institutions, and community the college has to offer. But I think that Seamus gave the best response. He said, Wabash is one big fraternity. Now, I'm not a fraternity man myself. Shout out to my boys down in Martindale. However, I do think that this is an apt way to describe our community. Like Lewis said before me, there are a lot of ways a Wabash man can find community if they are looking for it. However, when it comes down to it, Wabash is a brotherhood. Even though I never pledged a fraternity, there are dozens of people across this campus that I've made a lifelong connection with and would be proud to call my brother. Now, as we all know, just because you take part in a brotherhood doesn't mean that you always go along with every person in the community. Brothers fight. Sometimes brothers don't even like each other. However, at the end of the day, we are all still brothers. The experiences we shared through this campus bind us, and we all have a responsibility to look out and to support our brothers. So to end this anecdote, I'd like to remind you all the alma mater we cheer for, work for, and fight for, and the Wabash student body that makes this place worthwhile. And it is this student body that has taught me a lesson I would like to share with you. During my couple of months as a student body president, I've had the opportunity to speak with leaders at other colleges and universities, and what I've found is that Wabash provides a rare opportunity to decide its own future. The Student Senate has over $200,000 that the students of this campus are, without almost any outside input, able to decide how best to utilize to support the experiences of Wabash students. Wabash is a student-driven institution and gives us a great ability to uphold this institution's values, culture, and traditions. However, with this freedom also comes the need for accountability. As a student-led campus, I like to think that we as Wabash men can hold ourselves accountable to ourselves and to each other. We are called as students of this college to act as gentlemen by thinking critically, acting responsibly, leading effectively, and living humanely. I'm sure the freshmen in the room have heard that a million times during orientation by now. However, over the course of several events in the last semester, some of the trust that we had as a student body has started to lessen. We are all sons of Wabash, but who would trust a man that allows harm to befall his brothers and his home? The lesson that I would like to share with you today is that it is the responsibility of every Wabash man in this room right now to fight for the values of this institution so that we can ensure that future generations have not only the same opportunities as us to have a fulfilling college experience, but more. The college, as I'm sure many of you have heard many times, gains most of its support through alumni donations. Therefore, as one recent alumnus pointed out to me last year, the college is incentivized to ensure that every student has a worthwhile experience at this college and thinks fondly of it later on. Ask any senior here about his favorite Wabash memory, though, and I would bet good money that the first thing he talks about is his experiences he was able to have because other Wabash men planned, organized, attended, participated in, or hosted the event. This responsibility falls on all of us to fulfill what it means to be at this college, whatever that means to you, and to ensure that this makes this college worth going and that these reasons live on. To finish this off, I told you that I had a warning to share. I don't think I fully embraced this until I began this school year, honestly, but it rings true to me now more than ever. And underclassmen, listen up. One of the biggest regrets I've ever heard graduates of Wabash have is that they wish they would have done more. gone to more games, gone to more lunch talks, gotten involved in more organizations on campus. I know Luis hit on this point before me, but I feel it's important enough to emphasize again. If there is anything you take away from this chapel talk, underclassmen, take this away. Don't wish when you were handed your diploma at the end of your 4 years here that you would have done more at this college. And to my fellow seniors out there, let's make sure this year is one worth reminiscing over for years and decades to come. The job isn't done, gents, and we've got more work to do. Thank you, Wabash.
Right on, gentlemen. I'll make this quick because, frankly, it is too hot to be in a suit in here. So, firstly, welcome back to Wabash. Hope that everyone's had a fantastic summer and is settling back into their routine well. On Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon, the Crawfordsville Farmers Market is hosting Welcome Back to Wabash Day at Pike Place. Immediately following, we will have Back to Bash held on the mall, so from noon to 5. Come on out for that. So, now will you all please your eyes and join me in singing Old Wabash. Da 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 da.